go do that.
It's a pain doing it on this truck and showing you guys, but as soon as I get that day tab back, I'll go over it again. But I'll start with my apron. My apron itself is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and it is properly secured. My skid plate is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and it is properly secured. I would check to make sure there is no gap between my apron and my skid plate and everything is properly greased. Then I have my pivot pin. It is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and it is properly secured. Then I have my platform. My platform is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and it is properly secured with with mounting bolts in place. Then I have my release arm and my safety latch. They are not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and they are properly secured, and I would check to make sure they are both in lock position. Then I have my sliding rail itself. My sliding rail itself is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. It is properly secured with locking pins in lock position. Then I would check my sliding rail to make sure it is adjusted correctly so my landing gear cannot hit in turns. Now from there, I'll drop down and do my brakes. First of all, I'll start with my brake hoses. My brake hoses are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and they are properly secured. Then I have my brake chamber itself. It is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. It is not leaking, and it is properly secured. Then I have my slack adjuster and push rod. They are not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. There is no missing parts. They are properly secured, and I would check to make sure there's no more than 1 inch free play. Then I'll go to my drums and linings. My drums themselves are not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. They are properly secured. Then I'll go to my linings. My linings are not worn dangerously thin. They are not damaged. They are properly secured. I would check to make sure there's no leaking fluid from the inner axle seal. Then I have an inner and an outer axle seal. They are not damaged. They are not leaking. They are properly secured. Now from there, I'll go to my suspension system. I got a front spring mount and a rear spring mount, and I have center U-bolts. None of them are cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and they are all properly secured. Then I have my springs themselves. My springs themselves are not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. They are properly secured. I would check to make sure there's none missing or misaligned. Then I have a torque spring. My torque spring itself is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. It is properly secured. Then I have a shock absorber. My shock absorber is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. It is not leaking, and it is properly secured. Then I have an airbag on top of my rear spring mount. It is not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and it is properly secured. Now from there, I'll go to my bud rims. My bud rims are not damaged. They are properly secured. I would make sure there's no objects or debris. Tires are not rubbing or touching, and they are properly secured. Now from there, I'll go back to my tires. My tires themselves are not cut, not gouged, not bulged, not leaking, not damaged, and they are properly secured. I would check to make sure that they were filled up to manufacturer's specification, and there's no less than 2 30-seconds wear. Then I have my rim itself. It is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged. It is properly secured, and I would check to make sure there's no illegal or unauthorized welds. Then I have my lug nuts. There's none missing, none loose, none damaged, and they are all properly secured. Now from there, I have 2 things left on my coupling system I need to talk about. I've got my kingpin and my locking jaws. They're not cracked. First of all, my kingpin is not cracked, bent, or broken or damaged, and it is properly secured. My locking, they are properly secured. I would check to make sure that my locking jaws are fully locked around my kingpin and they are properly secured. Then from there, on our test truck, we have 2 reflectors back here. I would talk about the reflectors. I have 2 reflectors. They are not damaged, they are proper color, and they are properly secured. Now I'll do my lights. I got a left turn signal and a right turn signal. I got full-wave flashers. I've got brake lights. I've got my tail lights. I've got a reverse light and my ID or my indicator light. They're all working. They're all proper color. None of them are damaged, and they are all properly secured. Now, I'll move along. I have my reflector tape. It is not damaged. It is proper color, and it is properly secured. Then I have my mud flap. It is not damaged, and it is properly secured. That finishes up my tractor. How'd I do, guys? I missed anything?